Okay, you heard a connected triple octave glissando, and actually kind of difficult to do. So this was a free lip buzz, modeling very close to the type of embouchure you would play on your brass instrument, whether it's tuba or cornet or trumpet, French horn, euphonium, baritone, bass bone, whatever, trombone. So you want to keep the same embouchure set that you normally use when you play your instrument, so you're not going to do anything funky just to get the lip buzz. This is a test of efficiency, and efficiency is a must. I mean, just about anybody that's a musician worth their salt knows that you have to be efficient. But when it comes to brass playing, you must develop efficiency to be able to excel in power, strength, range, tone, sound, endurance, upper register, extreme upper register. And for those of you who don't know, the extreme upper register begins at double A flat. There's a high A flat that sits almost right on top of the staff. An octave higher than that, you would double it. That's a double A flat. So double A flat and up is extreme upper register. So in order to be able to accommodate these ranges, and I'm speaking trumpet, of course you can transfer or transpose this to your instrument, you have to be efficient. You really do have to be efficient. What is efficiency? That's getting the most output for the least amount of work, isn't it? Yeah, so that's why a landlord that owns several apartment buildings is very efficient with their time and their ability to make money compared to, let's say, a CEO that's working 14 hours a day, 70 hours a week, and they might, let's just say they both make the same amount of money, but the landlord who owns a bunch of apartments has actually leveraged themselves to be very efficient. That's what we want to do here as brass musicians. So there are many techniques in my upper register course. This is the 16-week upper register course for all brass players. Most people think it's for trumpet, but no. There's French horn and tuba players and euphonium players and trombone players and cornet players. The latest cornet player, well, actually I got a current cornet player, Steve Faber, right now, but the one before him was a really fantastic cornet player in some UK brass bands. And so anyway, it's just for all brass players, but you have to develop this efficiency if you expect to progress and get better on your brass instrument. So how do you know if you're efficient or not? What's a test of efficiency? I suppose many players and instructors could come up with lots of different tests, but the raw, pure, ultimate test of efficiency for any brass players that has to get a buzz to ignite the sound and the vibration of air that's going through their instrument, it would be the free lip buzz. The free lip buzz. And you can ascertain almost immediately how efficient your lips are. Now you just heard me do a glissando, 3 octaves all the way down to triple pedal C on trumpet. That would be a triple pedal concert B flat. So where would that be in the staff? I started at low C, which is below the treble clef staff, and then I went down to pedal C. Now pedal C would be the second space C in the bass clef staff, and then I went down an octave below that, so the octave below the C below the bass clef staff, actually we're talking B flat below the bass clef staff, and then one more octave. So low brass players, you're looking at a high brass player that can probably go lower than you can pitch wise, and we're talking pure raw natural pitch on your lips. If you can beat me on that, I would be impressed, and I'd like to see it. But I'll definitely acquiesce and say, hey, this guy beat me. He's a bass bone player. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but if you can, I'd like to hear it. So why am I able to beat out even the best? I don't even know how low Roger Bobo can go on his lips, but someone like that. Why am I able to go that low? It's all about efficiency. Efficiency. The vibration is spread all across my lips. I'm not wasting any of the tissue, any of the vibrating surface here. And everything's synced up and coming into play to make this vibration happen. And the true test is when you get slower and slower vibrations, how efficient you are. So instead of just me continuing talking about that, the best thing for you to do is just to try it. Most trumpet players, I would say, and let's say professional brass musicians that have good range might find this difficult. Why would you find it difficult? Because you're inefficient. You're used to blowing strong, hard, pressing in that mouthpiece, crunch, but you've figured it all out and you're able to get the high range, you're able to get the power, maybe you even get a good sound, but you're using a lot of tension and a lot of force, and you're being very inefficient. And that might be good when you're 25 or 30. I mean, it might work out for you, but what about when you're 50? What about when you're 60? What about when you're playing night after night in rock groups, pop groups, Broadway shows, night after night of loud playing? You know the kind of playing I'm talking about? Raise your hand if you've played in groups where, especially when you're playing trumpet and your mic, but you can't even hear what you're playing. I mean, that's how freaking loud it is. So you can take this test that I just showed you. It's a test of efficiency. And I love it because it gets rid of all the fluff and the sparkle and the shine and the shimmer of expensive instruments and expensive mouthpieces, and just brings it down to the physical person, the player. So go ahead and try to duplicate what you heard me do at the beginning of this video. And I'd like to hear from you. If you can actually do it, that would be pretty good. Some of you can do it already, but 99% of you probably cannot, or you'd have a tough time. Now, how do you know if you're going to be efficient or inefficient? First off, you just heard me continuously go down 3 octaves from low C, below the treble clef staff, all the way deep, deep down below the bass clef staff, 3 octaves. You didn't hear any break. All the way down. Just one continuous vibration and sound all the way down, 3 octaves. If you can do that, that means you are in the ultimate territory or ultimate efficiency land. It's not going to get much better than that as far as efficiency. More than likely what's going to happen is you're going to hit speed bumps down the road down for this test. Maybe you're going to come out like this. If you sound like that, there's bad news and good news. The bad news is you're extremely inefficient and you have lots of challenges and struggles in your playing. If you're a real young person, male or female, maybe those problems and challenges haven't exemplified or become demonstrable, but they will as you get older and as you suffer more loud and long playing experiences. But if you have that kind of inefficiency in your chops, a light bulb should go on and say, I got to change it now. If you're an older player, you would want to change it now because you want to turn the corner and start getting better. Likely you've been inefficient for quite some time. So you can develop some efficiency in these methods that I just kind of slammed a little bit, right? Claude Gordon, Roy Stevens, Cat Anderson, Reinhardt, Caruso, even TCE, tongue controlled embouchure, Maggio, Stamp, Adam. on and on and on. There's probably several more. I mean, some of those, I would say most of those have some efficiency built into their theory and philosophy and their protocol of doing that particular routine. The problem is they have very little efficiency built in because there's one inherent flaw. It's a fatal flaw for all these particular endeavors, is that they're banking on one direction, one technique, going down one road, and it's a microscopic approach to improving your brass playing. Almost always doesn't work, and for the folks that it does work for, it's a very limited few. And those are the few that keep that routine going because they say, hey, Claude Gordon works for me, Claude Gordon's awesome. Or they say, hey, you know, I've done the spit buzz and I'm able to do this. Well, those are a very minority amount of players that have gotten results simply because of the inefficiency in those routines and the fatal flaw. The fatal flaw is pounding away at one direction or one directional technique or method and expecting to gain miraculous results. All those courses have that in common, except for one, my course. My course takes the macroscopic shotgun approach. So right there, if I just stopped right there, you would do a lot better. But then I infuse it with momentum. Listen, you should be writing this stuff down. A macroscopic approach, shotgun approach. Hitting your face from all kinds of angles, everything. And infused with momentum. And sprinkled throughout the course are these little tidbits of efficiency building techniques. So it's really incredible. I mean, I'm actually still improving by doing my own techniques. I thought that I would have plateaued out or hit the ceiling at some point, and I haven't. So anyway, take this test, and I hope that this conversation has made you think about yourself, about your playing, and the fact that this test did not include you playing on a $10,000 Monet or an $8,000 Scherzer or any of these fancy highfalutin trumpet names or a $50 Chinese trumpet. It's just about you, the raw brass player. And if any of this made sense, I'd like for you to check out my stuff. I do happen to be the only person running the Holy Grail program for brass players. I can say that without blinking. It is the most amazing. And the other reason is, it's not just me saying it. It's everybody that comes in contact with me in this course that takes the live version with me. They say the same thing. It's a pretty miraculous course. It really is. So I'm Kurt Thompson. I am transferring over to a new platform with my website. It's a little bit functional now. There's some links where you can still get involved in the digital video download version of the course, but the best way is to study right with me and get a customized lesson plan with me for this course. But if you go to TrumpetSizzle.com, you'll find that my site is looking a lot different. I'm going to a different platform. I'm even having some pro designers help me out on it. It's going to come out really, really amazing in the next couple of months. This is 2019. So I had fun talking with you guys about this, and I hope that you kept an open mind, and I hope that you didn't just sit there and watch this. Is Kurt really playing a C? Oh yeah, he was. That would be the low C. Can I get that? And start your way on down. If you have any questions, go ahead and email me at kurt@TrumpetSizzle.com. KURT @ trumpet, like you would think, sizzle, SIZZLE, Trumpet Sizzle, TrumpetSizzle.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.